Oh, hello. Welcome to Tess MD TV. My name is Tess Washington, MD, board certified physician and surgeon. And on this channel, we discuss various ways for you to optimize your looks, love, wealth, and health. And guess what? I can finally hear your voices. We're going to start having a call in show where you guys can call in. I mean, call in, show, call in. And, I think that the advantage of having a call in show is that it's more interactive because people nowadays have something to say. And you guys don't want to just sit up and just like be nodding your head and then you leave information like a comment and you hope that someone reads your comment. Let's go above and beyond that. And let's actually give you guys an opportunity to voice your opinion on various topics. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to activate our call in line. And once we get that set up, we'd love to hear from you. And not only that, if you guys notice our platform now, we also have Pray with TestMD. There's going to be like a radio show component because believe it or not, guys, radio is back. And I thought that that was so weird because I was like, well, I don't understand. Like, what is the difference between a radio show and a podcast? Well, actually, there's a significant difference. A podcast is more so like a place where you have like a scripted content and you are talking about a focused topic, and your whole podcast is niched and specialized talking about that particular information. Whereas a radio show is a little bit more relaxed and is a little bit more so community oriented. And basically, the community can call in and they can say whatever's on their mind. And also, just as in any radio show, you can have ads and you can have music, etc., etc. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I just really think that 2023 is going to be the year for people who have content that they want to help others to get to another place that they're trying to go in their life, and they have met some stumbling blocks and they quite don't really know how to arrive. You can push them to that next level with your life experiences and your knowledge. So I think this is really going to be a good year. And also on our platform, when I'm trying to set forth a precedent, is you don't have to wait for perfection. If you were a part of our broadcast last night, we just basically stumbled through everything last night. And after we realized all the different flaws and areas that we need to correct, I worked on those during today. And then here we are again tonight. And then tonight, we may discover some things that we need to tweak, and we will tweak those things tonight, and then we'll be ready again tomorrow night. And you want to build yourself to the point of consistency. But trust me, if you're doing it, well, oh, I just want to wait. There's no such thing as perfection. And when you finally do go live, you're still going to realize something that you've got. Like, for example, I forgot right now to increase the quality of the image. So I think I'm still on 420, which means it's going to be a little bit blurry. So, but this particular camera that I use, I think you can only go up to 720. It can't go to 1080 or 4K. So, it is what it is. However, let's go ahead and let's get you guys an opportunity to call in so that we can hear what's on your mind. How about that? We'll go ahead and we'll start at that point. So, and that's about it. And um, you know, uh, I'll just shut up while I do this part. All right. Okay. And we're going to do this with total transparency. I actually meant to set this part up before we got to this part of the show, but I was hanging out with my TikTok fam and I forgot. We were like we were listening to some Dusties and just going through some different information. And so we'll call this our first call in show. The number that is scrolling across at the bottom of the screen is the number that you will be able to reach us. All righty. So, okay, there it is.
Hello, you've reached the support center for Yoshinoya America.
Oh,
If you
wrong number for real. Wrongnumber.com. All right. All right. This one will be a little bit better.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So we are currently in a position that if you want to take advantage of that information at the bottom of the screen, you can go ahead and we love to hear what you have to say about whatever you want to have to say it about. And we don't really have right now, we don't really have a specific topic, just more so just kind of like medical or in general. And we will have topics as time goes on. But this is a big step from last night. Hey, Billy, how are you? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Billy. Glad to see you. So sorry, Facebook, last night we weren't able to bring you in. We had fun last night. Did we have fun last night, TikTok? We had fun last night, Facebook, but we couldn't bring you guys in because Mark got on all these different rules. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do that. We were like, we don't feel like doing all that. So we didn't do Facebook last night, but you guys are more than welcome to come on by and hear what's on your mind. Hey, I'm so glad that you are doing well. So some of the general topics that we have been talking about over on TikTok, we were just pretty much talking about just kind of like healthcare, different healthcare careers. We also have a community. We were talking about the community. We were also over on TikTok. We were listening to some great music. We can't do that here, but we just were just pretty much just kind of like vibing and just having positive energy. If you had anything that you wanted to, let me see. What is I'm trying to think of what is a topic that we had that we were pretty much kind of like going kind of hard about, guys. Let's see. Let's see. Uh let's see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think we were pretty much also talking about like, let's say that you want to create content. Start. Just start. Just start. Just start. And also, I think that they came out with some rule changes on let's see what this link is for you. All right, guys. So, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put Billy's I don't know, Billy's, link or whatever. All right, Billy, I hope that's something clean. Don't be sending people to no bad place. So, take it for what it's worth. So we were pretty much talking about just if you want to start something, where to start at, because it looks like there were some new changes on YouTube where they're pretty much cleaning things up. You can't do this, you can't do that. Okay. All right. Billy said that it's clean. So I haven't been there myself, guys. I'll check it out after we get out the show, but I haven't been to his link myself. But YouTube is pretty much stating, like, profanity and any kind of violence and anything that's inappropriate. Inappropriate being, it looks like they're just trying to clean the platform up, and it looks like they're actually really just trying to make it to the point that you're giving just kind of like helpful content that is more so informative and something that people could walk away from earning some form of information leading them into a clean and healthy direction. And I don't have a problem with that. So I think that if you are going to do something in 2023, you want to maybe look at your career field. This is what I want to tell you to do. Like, here, check this out, write this down. Look at your career field, whatever you do for a living. Look at your career field. Now, look at a problem in your career field and look at something that every single person who does what you do is complaining about. Now, look at how you overcame that. All right. And look at the steps that you used to overcome that. And see if there's some kind of a way that you can write it down and you can reproduce it in a form of a system. Now, once you have reproduced it in a form of a system, that means that if someone from point A follows every single step that you just wrote down, they will get to point B just like you did using those same exact steps. Then take that information and put that information in a no code app or use open source information, which is free information, and distribute it. Done. Period. Point blank. That is how you succeed in 2023 because there are so many people who have so many questions and they just need a little push, a little boost to get to the next level. You likely have that answer. Don't think that you have to perfect that answer because when you give that person that information, they're still going to tweak it to make it fit their specific scenario. Don't hold back in 2023. Bring it, bring it, and help others. And you will feel the reward by helping others. I definitely have on my social media platforms. I can see how when I started to move my content towards nothing but helping others, oh my God, the reciprocity has been amazing. And I'm absolutely humbled and grateful. And guess what? It gives you such a feeling that you wake up every day like, "Oh my God, how can I help others more?" That's just the kind of energy that you get out of it. You understand what I'm saying? It's about an institution. Oh, okay. Um, hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, let's you got a YouTube channel or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna leave it there because I try to be kind of careful. Um, so basically uh Billy is saying, urinary tract infections between spouses, right? So that's something that, you guys may want to talk to your primary care doctor about if you do have any kind of symptoms of urinary tract infection. We're not giving any medical advice on this channel. However, doing a little bit of a sidebar, I am licensed in Illinois, Indiana, Montana, New York, Nevada, and California. We do have a virtual practice, and I'll be more than happy to see you in a virtual practice, and we can possibly set up some kind of a scenario for you. Or if you live in one of the states that I am not licensed, I'd be more than happy to bring you on as a health coach. We're also very, very big about weight loss. I started my methylation detoxification about 3 days ago, and I got to post that content for you guys so you guys can go ahead and jump on board. Hey, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll go ahead and we'll bring in the protocol for the detoxification that I've been started on. I meant to post it for you guys, but I had to work. So that kind of like deterred some of the information I wanted to provide for you. But we'll do that tomorrow. You guys want to do that tomorrow? Bring on the detox information. We'll do that tomorrow. So yeah, definitely. All right. So, we got the phone lines open. If you guys want to, go ahead and put forth some positive energy, 914-205-5675. Yeah, I got to be careful. And you guys that didn't have anything to do with you. So you stay right there. And I'm just simply saying, you don't want to do anything to, yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's about it. So, all right. All right. So there you go. We have a visitor. So it's 5584. You are live. What's on your mind?
So this is Bill Shock, SCHOCH. I'm the one that sent the link.
Okay.
So what
Hey.
I would
Uh-huh.
share is the link. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we got you.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the link is about interstitial cystitis. I'm sure as a doctor you're familiar with it.
Uh-huh.
So this is a disorder which often mostly affects a lot of women. Often it's in the bladder. Well, that's what IC does. It affects mainly the bladder, and so often it affects the quality of many relationships.
Bill, where
And
where where
often,
where, you- where are you going with this, dear? So I'm very
oh,
careful. I'm very careful on my
I know you are.
platform.
I
So
know you are.
what I
I'm not.
probably would
That that
prefer.
that's why I said. That's why I sent you the article. Actually, it's about empathy. It's about husbands having empathy for their wives
Oh, okay.
who are
Okay.
suffering from this disorder.
Okay.
Basically, in a nutshell, it's saying if you're not there to support somebody at their worst and at their lowest, you don't deserve
Oh.
them at their best. And often in our society, we lose sight of some of these things when our our spouse is going through such a traumatic situation, and we may often uh, take things wrong. Like for example, um, when somebody is suffering, if you know somebody got cancer and they throw a phone book at you, sometimes you'll forgive them because you know what's wrong with them, and
Absolutely.
you have the empathy. But if somebody has like a mental disease, psychological or something else, because they don't have a bone sticking out the side of their neck or something we can see, we don't have that same amount of empathy. And so in the article that I wrote, it's from the IC group, the interstitial cystitis group. It's called The Husband's Perspective. It's just a short reading that I did because often a lot of husbands have left their wives because of a lack of intimacy.
Oh,
Because of the
hold on
disorder.
1 second.
Eh,
Let me try to bring up your volume. Uh, Speak again, Billy. Speak again.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
So
Is this
often
better?
because of the disorder,
Okay.
yeah. Can
It
you hear?
was
I can hear
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
fine.
your
Can you hear
fault.
me okay?
Oh, my friend Lindy is
Yeah.
here, and Lindy said, "I'm sorry, Lindy. Tell me if you can hear him better now." Okay. Speak again, Billy, because you know what? This is so this is so beautiful what he's saying, and we almost missed out on this opportunity. Lindy, let me know if you can hear better now. Billy, go ahead. You got the mic. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So can you hear me okay?
I can. I turned the volume up.
So okay. So the article is it's called it's in the link I sent. It's an IC group for interstitial cystitis, and basically what I was trying to share is well, if I could kind of go into it a little bit.
Please
It says
do.
this
Please
goes
do.
out
You got
to
the mic.
everyone who thinks that yeah, it says this goes out to everyone who thinks they can't take it anymore, living with someone who is living with IC, which is a disorder which impacts the bladder and often causes a lack of the quality of intimacy in the relationship because spouses can't because they're in so much pain. And often there's the case where husbands have left their wives and not had empathy for them because they're often selfish. And I'm just put in a nutshell. So what I'm trying to share with this article is it talks about I've heard of spouses leaving because they couldn't take it anymore. And I said, take what? Complaining about pain a few times a day, or don't you realize that they're in pain way more than a few times a day? So I go into explaining how difficult it is for that woman who's going through this traumatic situation, and then to find out on top of everything, her husband has left her, and it's just a terrible situation. And I said, if you're not with somebody at their worst, you don't deserve them at their best. And I'm just trying to get people to develop empathy, because often we don't see everybody's pain. And sometimes somebody gets mad and lashes out at us verbally, and it's not because they're trying to be mean toward us. It's often because they're comfortable enough around us that they show us that side, that vulnerable side that they don't show others. And so when we can have an understanding of that, it makes it easier for us to empathize with them, have compassion for what they're going through. And often by you sticking by their side through these difficult situations, more good situations, good times will arise, and you'll be there to enjoy those as well. And I'm just giving you a condensed version of it, so I'm leaving a lot out. But
Oh
like I
my
said, it is from
God.
the brief article that I sent you. It's called "I See It's a Husband's Perspective," and it was just a little something I wrote because this is one of the many issues that I've gone through with my wife. We've been married now for going on 18 years, and she went from being in kickboxing. She was a nurse manager, going to be a nurse practitioner. She has Asperger's, autism, and now she's in a wheelchair. And we're still happily married,
Mhm.
but it's been rough, and there's been a lot of challenges. And it's important for spouses to step up and don't feel that you gotta run out the door when these difficulties arise, because it happens so often. I see it in a lot of my peers who are no longer with their spouses. And I was born in 1970, and I had a good example. My parents are together, and I see it. But I see a lot of this younger generation that just finds it so easy to just step away, instead of trying to work through things. And sometimes we get poor advice. And I'm not a professional. I mean, I do work for New York State. I work for OPWDD, the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities. So I'm familiar with a lot of different things, such as Asperger's and autism and schizophrenia, and just working with these people and trying to help them get through their day. It's a secure facility that I work at. So these are people that would be in jail or prison if they weren't developmentally disabled. So I go to work every day and deal with that. And then I come home and deal with a whole bunch of health issues that I'm dealing with having my spouse. And I make sure I leave that stuff at work when I come home to my wife and show her that attention and love that she needs. And then when I go to work, I leave sometimes the stuff that I go through at home out, and I go to work and throw that stress in another garbage can, so to speak, and focus on the job. And often we got to categorize and compartmentalize things in our life so we can really focus, develop empathy, and just show some caring. And I just wanted to call in and just kind of break the ice, because I've been following your page for a long time, and I said, well, let me make a call. I didn't know if I was going to get through, but I just wanted to share a little something. But like I said, the article's there. Anybody can reach out to me if they have any questions on it. But I just want to share a little bit about the article.
Hey,
That's about it.
I just put your article on so that anyone can see it, and also I know a lot of people will watch it on a rebroadcast. We're just not really starting the whole call-in thing, but I gotta tell you, it's an honor and a
Sure.
privilege to start with such a strong, amazing topic. And Lindy, Dr. Hayes, who is an emergency room physician, 20 plus years strong, an outstanding physician, and also a wife. It just so happens that she's one of the people who chimed in, stating that the audio was a little bit low. But this is such an amazing
Sure.
topic. I have a lot of people who are over on TikTok, so they couldn't hear everything you said. So basically, he wrote an article because his wife gets a lot of urinary tract infections just because of a physical disability. But when they first were married, like 18 plus years ago, she was just kind of like very buoyant, very active, very involved. and now she has this situation, and he was just he wrote an article as a husband, as an 18-year husband, stating how men should have a little bit more empathy for if a woman is dealing with a more so kind of female type situation that men may not deal with, which men do definitely get urinary tract infections, let me tell you. And every time a man gets a urinary tract infection, it's considered complicated. And the main reason why, if you think about it, if bacteria is going to travel through that all the way through that shaft up, then make a left hand turn, there's a lot of complications. Whereas a woman is more so, flat and more so has uncomplicated. But I know myself testifying to a situation, and I did deal with this when I was married, just shaving. Ladies, when you're shaving and right after you shave, it's a little bit uncomfortable. And I remember one time with my ex-husband, I was like, well, let's maybe not, you know what I mean? Because you just shaved. But he just wasn't hearing that. And then I was like, well, should I, satisfy my husband, or should I accommodate this discomfort? And I felt kind of like I had to put my discomfort to the side to satisfy the situation. Whereas what Billy is saying, as a husband, understand that sometimes a woman goes through things in a little girl area that a man may not understand because he may not have went through it, but he loves you unconditionally, and he's going to have various forms of empathy and be there, more of a support, and maybe just give you a hug, or maybe just snuggle and understand maybe tomorrow may be a better day. So, that is so beautiful. Ladies, those are the kind of husbands that we're looking for. And I do still feel like there are many, 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 many good men still available. And Billy's been married 18 years plus. I know um that Lindy has been married for like 20 years plus. But just because we have these veteran marriages online right now, that doesn't mean that, like, some of the new school guys, even some of the Gen Z, just may be those type of fiber guys that want to be in a monogamous long-term marriage where they have empathy for the woman, and the woman is going to be feminine and wear the dress and understand that we are there to complement each other. So thank you so much. And as a matter of fact, what I'll do, I had a segment called Hot Medical Topics, Billy. I'll go ahead and I'll read your article,
Yeah.
and I will I'll post your
Okay.
article as a part of the video in Hot Medical Topics. How about that?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well,
Sounds
thanks for
awesome.
thank you so much for calling in, and join us tomorrow night. We'll be here tomorrow night. Well, I keep saying 8 o'clock, but I get over on TikTok and we always have a pre get together before we do the real get together. But we're gonna shoot for 8 o'clock. We're gonna shoot for 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right? Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and release the line. Thank
Right,
you
and
so
I
much. Go ahead.
I said I also inbox you that article and another one in your messenger on through Facebook.
Okay, thank you so
Through
much. And
Facebook.
I'll check it after we get off the show tonight. All right, Billy. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Yep.
That was amazing, guys. Man, I feel so privileged. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys, when you have good energy, good things happen. So look at that, for our first call in on our live call in show, we have an amazing brother who called in just stating how he is just like there for his queen. And, I'm quite sure that they are just so happy with each other. Oh, there go Lindy. She said, what? 27 years. Guys, 27 years. And let me tell you, this is a beautiful woman. And Dr. Hayes took care of, I know she took care of her husband's parents, which we have that in common, but I think she also took care of her parents, and she bought a home. When she listen to this. When she bought her home, she was like, one day my parents are going to get older and they're going to need us. She bought her home to accommodate her parents. And we'll definitely discuss this in another show. But in my opinion, nursing homes shouldn't even be in business, right? Because we should take all their business. If you guys knew the small area that me and my mom are in, but I refuse to let anyone else do anything for my mother because that's my mother, right? And even though we may have the normal mom daughter issues, I wouldn't even be in a position to have an issue because I wouldn't be on this earth if it wasn't for her going through labor, right? So that's how I feel about being a caregiver. So I got so much respect for this doctor. We met during the sea, and she's just an outstanding person. So thank you so much, Dr. Hayes, and thank you so much for sharing. So they just made 27 years married December 16th. Okay. So they're coming up on 28 years, guys. So you remember, people don't stay married like that anymore, right? And I think that we take advantage, myself included, we take advantage of the in case of emergency break glass. And was it really an emergency, and did you really have to break glass? Everyone knows my unique situation. I think that I was appropriate to break glass, and if you don't know my unique situation, we'll discuss that on another show. But I think that if it wasn't for that, I would have stuck with it because I made that commitment, and I admire those 30-year marriages, those was so sensitive. And yeah, that was, wasn't it? It was absolute. And did you hear his voice? He had such a nice voice. It just really sounds like that woman really, really, really has an amazing spouse. So, what do you guys think? Let me see what they're talking about. Um, I hope to get there. Yes, yes. So we got some long-term marriages over here on TikTok. Yep. Listen, I gotta tell you guys, I I'm just very happy with my following on social media, with my Facebook, my first call-in show, just being just like an amazing person, Billy, to call in. Um, Guys, if you are a professional, please incorporate social media in your realm. You have to, okay? Because it definitely kind of like it makes you stay on top of your p's and q's. It makes you stay current with all the information, and it also diversifies your treatment, your management, the way that you acknowledge people. It also strengthens your personality and a few more positive adjectives. But social media, once upon a time, maybe had a negative, like, oh my God, you're on social media or whatever. But I think that some studies have actually shown that the dopamine surge that you get from social media is actually positive and advantageous. So, you couldn't, as a matter of fact, when I interview for a situation, I'm like, hey, I'm interviewing for your locums opportunity, for your whatever. However, you have to understand, I do have a social media presence. I bring that up, what I'm saying, in the door. And they got to understand that, because if you gonna hire me, you're gonna hire the over 100,000 people I have on TikTok and every other social platform. And if they can't come, I don't want to come. And they usually invite us all in the room, right? So that's about it. So, hey, I'm not going to here. Billy has given us another link, guys. And I'm going to make sure that I go through all of Billy's articles, and I'm going to discuss them. And I'm going to put Billy's links in the description of this video. And you can reach out to Billy, because it sounds like he may have a blog or something on Substack or something like that he wants you to follow him on. So I definitely want to go ahead and promote everything that's going on with him. So, and here Dr. Hayes is saying that she loves. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Lindy, this is one of the things I was working on. So when me and Lindy met, Lindy was just pretty much wanting me to get more involved in organized medicine. And at that point, that was when I was really kind of green in the techie world. And I was like, well, Lindy, I'm trying to do this and that. Dr. Hayes, this is one of the things I was working on. This is one thing. And so I could have as many people to call in for as long of a period of time. Okay. And it also is a software that's a separate radio show within itself. So, I I think that you would be very happy, doctor, with the things I put together. And, I want to put this together. And my utopian situation is just to hand it over to another healthcare provider who wants it. I also have a app on the iOS and Android that has nothing but all of my podcast content. Like I said, we have communities, we have an event, we even have an event stage. Dr. Hayes, I'll probably invite you where we can have different speakers all on the event stage, and it's ours. It's not Eventbrite or nothing like that. Every single thing that I bring on our platform belongs to us because I am a Sumaling. And I'll make sure I put the link in the bio. But I don't believe in monthly subscriptions because why am I paying monthly for a software that you guys only had to create one time, right? So I'm a member of AppSumo and I get lifetime deals on everything. And then I am a advanced member, I guess if you want to call it that, of the Sauce. And there's like a bunch of just kind of like software creators, and we all just chat. We all just sit around, we just chat. And then, like I told you guys, I take classes at Santa Monica College, and I just continue to increase my knowledge. And I just have fell in love with the software realm. So I'm really glad that you like it. So we're here every night, guys. You guys got to make sure we're here every. See, I get here at 8 o'clock, but TikTok, they make me be bad. No, so we hang out and then we listen to Dusties, and then what I'm saying, we okay, we may have like a little cocktail or two. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we had a little cocktail. Okay, so all right. See, I told you, they thought I wasn't gonna tell the truth. So we had a little bit of a cocktail, and we listened to little Denise Williams, and we listened to some Barry White, and then we're like, okay. We got to get over on YouTube, and then we didn't get to you guys till about 9 o'clock. But tomorrow we're gonna start with our pre-show TikTok at 7 so that we're on time for YouTube at 8. Deal? Okay. They'll make me do the right thing. All right. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So, and you guys, thank you very much, Billy. Thank you very much. I'm trying. I'm trying. Yes. This is my plan. And Lindy, there's much more. There's much more, Doctor. I respect her so much. She's so smart. Um, Here's the thing. Some of you guys may be a little bit young for Sesame Street, but there was a version in Sesame Street when was it Sesame Street or Electric Company, when the guy wanted to make a cake and he was like trying to go get everyone, like, will you come carry the butter? Will you come carry the milk? And everyone was like, they were busy. And then when he went and got all the ingredients for the cake, then he came back and everyone wanted it. And the whole moral to that Sesame Street episode was cooperation. um I've been building all of this, and I have had so many people who thought I was nuts, and I respected them because it's hard for other people to see your vision. But I knew I wanted to build a platform where we could talk to each other, where we could have call in, where we could have a private community, where we had like documents that were stored there, where we could have events, where we could have like CME, where we could have like jobs available amongst us and we trust each other. We have someone who's going to be in charge of the community of nurses. I bought that domain and I'm going to give it to her because she's going to promise me that she's going to run it with strength. I also bought the community of medical students. I bought the community of physicians. I bought the laptop doc because I want to try to teach doctors how to work from their laptop. So you could be in Bora Bora, but you could still be practicing medicine. But it took me a very, 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 very long time because I didn't know how to do any of this, right? But I couldn't hire a guru because I knew that I had like a way that I wanted to kind of like specialize it. So it's almost like as a doctor, you listen to a used car salesman commercial, right? But you don't sell used cars, but you're listening. Okay, he's like right now, CarMax is having a hard time selling cars, right? So then you listen to a CarMax video and then you take that information and you're like, hmm, how could I? So that's basically what I've been doing. Where did I get that concept from? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. In his book, he talked about working as a bagger at a grocery store. He worked as a carpenter. He worked as a painter. And he knew that he wasn't going to do any of these career fields, but he took little information from each career field and he knew that it would be a valuable asset in his armamentarium of what he wanted to do, which was real estate. And when I read that book, I was like, well, that makes sense. And the other book, Think and Grow Rich. I hate to be so cliche. I feel so cliche, but those books work in today's world. And you just take whatever you're doing and you look at how can you think a little bit out of the box but still be respectful, and you will be successful, but you'll be unique and you'll be different with your approach. And that's all that we've been trying to do here. So we've been on right now for about 34 or 35 minutes. We got to come back tomorrow night, so we're going to save some things to discuss tomorrow night. And yeah, that's about it. The number is never going to change. Our call in number is 914 205 5675. And you can just feel free to just give us a hit and see what is on your mind. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this kind of content, for those people who are watching the rebroadcast, feel free to subscribe, like, share, tell your friends to come by. And as it stands right now, we're going to make this our regular stop at 8 p.m. Pacific time nightly. And 8 p.m., the real 8 p.m. TikTok, they're going to hold me to it. The real 8 p.m., not our 8 p.m., but the real 8 p.m. All right. And that's about all we have to say for tonight. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Take care.